you today?
Hello, how is going your day today?
My day is going good, thank you.
Uh-huh.
And how is yours?
Oh, starting the week is not too easy for me, but I am here trying to develop my English.
Good. And how was your weekend? What did you do?
Oh, I was at home with my family because all weekend are out of my home, and this is a good time to be with my son and my daughter.
Oh,
It's a nice moment to be at home.
good. Well, very good. Glad to have you in class. Welcome.
Hmm?
All right, let me say hello to Summing.
Hello, good to see you.
Good to see you. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Good. Did you go to the beach this weekend?
Yes, I usually go to
Hmm.
bridge at the yeah.
What else did you do? What more?
One more, one more. When I'm back from the bridge, I will go to the restaurant for my lunch. Yeah.
You went today?
Today? No. The weekend. You say at the
Mm-hmm,
weekend?
mm-hmm. Oh, you went to lunch at a restaurant on the weekend?
Yes.
Okay. And was it your favorite restaurant?
Mm, I think there's a lot of restaurant around my place. Yeah.
Okay.
Uh, yes.
So it was one of the restaurants around your house.
Yeah. Because I live in the apartment.
Mm-hmm.
The apartment. The ground floor to the first is the shopping mall. They
No
have
way.
have a lot of shop, including the restaurant and anything. Yes. So
Okay.
very easy. I just get down to so I will enjoy everything. Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's really cool. Is it really loud in your apartment?
No.
No.
Oh
Oh,
no.
that's good.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Okay. Well, welcome, Sunming.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. All right, Paul. Hello. How are you?
Okay. Well, I'm fine, but I caught a cold recently, so my voice could sound quite in how to say. Uh, I will try to find the proper words. Sorry. What in English? Um, sorry. Horse or rocos or husky. What's more correctly to say? Speak harshly. Yeah, I could
Oh.
speak harshly sometimes.
Uh-huh. That's
And
okay.
uh, hmm and last week I spent my time being sent to the hackathon, the JetBrains company,
Mm-hmm.
where we spent with my team something about 3 days building a small prototype
Oh,
on the
cool.
Python. Educational startup.
Cool.
hmm
And
And
it's a project with a team?
it's a project with a team of 4 members
Mm-hmm.
in the different areas. It's a head of IT department of the Russian Economic School.
Mm.
Second one is a employee in the uh, found I don't know how to translate, foundation of the educational development and
Mm-hmm.
supporting of the educational projects maybe, but
Okay.
I don't know the official so what the stand for.
Okay.
And the third one is a programmer who spent his 5 years working as a CTO in different companies, and me. So 4 members.
Cool.
hmm
Cool. And How long do you have to work on the project?
Uh, we have been working in this on this project since probably the last October.
Okay, so since October.
Since October, yes.
Okay.
And
Wow.
up to now.
Cool. Is it finished?
Yes, we have completed our prototype, and now we are in search of the investors.
Cool.
And now we are estimating our how to say I forgot the word for this on the key conversion of the people who go to our website, go on our website, and who needs in our project. It's a social network for the people who would like to share their knowledge among the different people who uses different pieces like Coursera, Udacity, Khan Academy, adding the books, adding the different materials from the YouTube, from the additional materials about the high school that he graduated from, about the different clubs, meetups, and so forth, and share them publicly.
Okay. Okay. So it's like a social media site?
It's like degree.com. It's our main competitor. Degree.com or Accredible.com.
Okay. Okay, cool. Well, very good. Awesome for finishing that. That sounds very impressive.
Thank you.
Yep. Welcome to class, Paul. All right. Hello again, Omar.
Hi.
Welcome to class.
Thank you.
All right. Nori, hello.
Hello.
Hi. Is this your first time with me?
Yes, it is.
Where are you from?
I'm from Italy.
Italy. Awesome. And how long have you been studying English?
A lot of years, but ups and downs. And I am improving English in those last months.
Okay. So for the past few months, you've been trying to improve your English?
Yes, I was.
Cool. Well, very good. And how many languages do you speak?
Italian and English.
Okay. So
that's enough.
Yes, that is a lot.
Yes.
I think anyone who can speak another language is just amazing. It's so cool.
Thanks. Yes, it's very hard.
It is. It's so hard. Well, very good, Nori. Welcome to class. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
All right. Let me say hello to Joao. Joao.
Yeah, it's my name. Hello,
oh my
teacher.
gosh. Hello. All right. Where are you from?
I'm from Brazil.
Okay. Why is your name so hard for me? Okay. All right. How long have you been studying English?
Maybe 4 years. I think so.
Okay, cool. And how many languages do you speak?
Only my native language is Portuguese and English.
Okay. All right. So 2 as well. And
Yeah,
why English?
I don't know. I think I have watched a lot of movies and some music, and I have listened a lot of music. So I think I have this influence. That's why I chose English to learn.
Cool. Cool. Yeah, one of my students said he wanted to understand Hollywood movies. So he was learning English for Hollywood movies. I was like, all right. Sounds good. That's a good reason. All right. Welcome to class. Nice to meet you.
Thank you. Nice to meet you too.
All right. Let me say hello to Giuseppe again.
Sorry.
No problem. Giuseppe.
Okay.
Hello. How are you?
Hi, teacher. I can see again.
Yeah, nice to see you again.
Yeah.
All right. Let me say hello to Araceli.
Hello, how are you?
Very good. How are you?
I'm fine.
Good. Have we met before?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Where are you from?
I'm from Spain.
From Spain. Awesome. And how long have you been studying English?
Oh, for my whole life, I think.
Nice.
Many
Cool.
years.
And why English?
Well, I guess it was not my choice, but it's just we have to learn English here in Spain. It's almost
Oh.
compulsory for children, and for my work is because I work as a teacher and I have to teach in English, so it's not a choice for me. It's just a
Okay.
matter of work.
Okay. And if you could choose any language in the world to learn, what would it be?
I would like to learn German. In fact, maybe someday I'll when I'm done with English, maybe I'll begin with German because I feel curious about that. But it must be very hard.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, all languages seem hard to me. But yes, German seems very hard. I have a few friends from Germany, and I now have a playlist of songs in German, and I love listening to it, but I can't sing along at all. It's terrible. But it's a very pretty language.
I'll tell you when I learn it.
Okay, yes. Let me know. Let me know. Welcome to class. Nice to meet you.
Thank you. Nice to meet you too.
All right. And Ahmed?
Hi,
Hello. How are you
Hello.
today?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm good. And Ahmed, have we met before?
Oh, this is my first class with you.
Okay. Where are you from?
I'm from Egypt.
From where?
Egypt.
Egypt. Awesome. And how long have you been studying English?
All my life.
All your life. Okay. All right. Very good. How many languages do you know how to speak?
Arabic and English. Some
Very
French and a little bit Dutch.
Okay, so French and Dutch, a little bit?
Yeah. Little
Okay,
bit.
cool. Cool. Why did you choose those two?
Well, I'm forced to study them in school, high school.
Oh, really? Dutch and French. Oh,
Yep.
okay. Very cool. All right, well, very nice. Welcome to class, everyone. Nice to see y'all. We are going to begin talking about the past perfect. So, the formula for past perfect is had plus the past participle. Participle. Okay? Does everyone know that? Yes? Okay, great. Perfect. Okay, good. Then we can begin right away. So, here is the link. I'm going to put it in the chat, okay? So, here's the link we will be using. Okay. Alright, so...
Is it available for editing, or it's only from your side?
Hold on, sorry. Oh, it's just on my side.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so y'all can't edit it, but y'all can look.
Okay.
Let me see. Let me share it on my screen as well. Here we go.
Okay.
And let me zoom in.
Sorry. Oh.
Okay. Let's read the first general rule, okay? So, Nori, can you read the first paragraph?
Yes. The past perfect is used to describe a completed event that happened before another event in the past. The twins discovered that they had both studied psychology.
Good. So when we use the past perfect event is always before the simple past event. Okay? So do we see that? We use the simple past and the past perfect. Yes? Okay, very good. Okay, then we are going to move on to the next paragraph. Okay.
Daniel, could I ask you a question about the first paragraph?
Yes.
Does it rule hold true always, or we have some exceptions out of this rule?
You can use okay. So yeah, so we're gonna go into the details of the rule, because sometimes in English, like when you use the word before or after, sometimes you can use the simple past and the simple past. Okay.
To replace it.
Right. So sometimes it depends, because when you use before and after, you understand that the event is before or after, right? You don't need the past perfect.
The additional form.
Right. So yeah, so it'll depend, but yeah, as a general rule, usually in English, when we describe two events in the past, usually we use the past perfect.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, good question. All right. Okay. So let's read this paragraph, and then we will look at the examples. Okay, so this is kind of saying the same thing. Let's see, Omar, read that for me.
Okay. I use the past perfect to describe an event in a time period that leads up to another past event or time period. Use the simple past to describe the later event or time period.
Good. Okay. So that's basically saying what I said earlier. And Omar, can you read the example?
She learned that she had been part of a secret study.
Okay. Do we understand so far?
Yes.
Does this make sense? Okay, very good. All right. The next time. So these words are going to be indications. Okay. Let's read to here. Okay. Joe. Oh my gosh, Joe.
Yes, teacher.
Can I call you Joe?
Yeah, you can call me John only.
Okay, perfect. Joe. Can you read B?
Okay. B. The prepositions before, by, or until can introduce the later time period. Early time, later time. Their mother had knew about the stud before her death.
Good. All right. This is pronounced known.
Known. Had known.
Good.
Okay.
Perfect. Okay, good. So when we see the words before, by, or until, these are usually a good sign. They're a good sign that we use the past perfect, okay? Not always, but it's usually a good sign, okay? Okay, so let's look at the other example. Here we go. Joe, can you read that one as well?
Sam hadn't gotten a pup until last year.
Puppy.
Puppy.
Uh-huh. Puppy is like a...
last year.
Yep. Puppy is a baby dog.
Oh, okay.
Okay?
I'm sorry, teacher.
Yes.
Can I ask you the verb hadn't gotten? It's a past tense of what verb? I don't remember now.
It's a past participle of get.
Get.
Uh-huh.
So had gotten, hadn't gotten.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah, so get is the present, got is the past, and gotten is the past participle.
Okay.
Yeah. So got is the past.
Instead, the verb have is have, had, had.
Have, had. Yes, exactly,
Okay.
exactly.
Okay. I was mixing.
Oh, no problem. Yeah. Good. Had got. Is it right? Okay, so Araceli, no, because you can say, for example, I have got $20. For example, when you say I have got, it means in your possession in this moment. So, for example, I have got a phone in my hand. I've got. But you can say I had gotten the phone before my 23rd birthday, for example. Okay, but it's always had gotten. Not. I don't think you can say had got. I don't think.
Teacher.
But in the present, if you say, it sounds right to me to say, I've got the tickets. Oh, not meaning I possession of the tickets. Yes, I have just got the tickets. I don't know if that's.
I've just got the ticket. You would. For me, I would say. Go ahead.
I thought both forms were correct. I remember hearing something about American and British English or something like that. But
maybe.
I think I read both were correct. But I don't know if what you're saying, because if you are meaning God in a possessive way, I've got or I have, or you can say just I have a house or I've got a house. But when you use God with this meaning of getting something, I don't know.
You've heard it both ways. Maybe it is. Maybe it is. I've always heard it. I've always heard have got is with a possession, and have gotten is in the past. But maybe like British English and American English, maybe it's different. Yes. So I will take both. If you have heard it both ways, because I don't know British English.
I'm not sure.
But for me, I have usually heard it. I have gotten.
Correct. Okay.
For me, but maybe that's just me personally. Okay.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes. Thank you.
Okay. All right. I have okay, let me see something. I have written some books. I had written some books. You would say for the second one something. I hadn't written a book until yesterday, maybe.
The first sentence is present perfect. That means I have written some books.
I have written. I have written some books. Yep.
Yeah.
The first one is correct.
That means I still a writer now. I still a writer now. Yes.
It can, but it simply means when you say I have written some books. Yeah. It means at some point in the past, you wrote a book. Okay? That's all it means. Okay? So you can be a writer now, or you don't have to be. Okay? It only means that in the past, you have done that activity.
Yes.
Okay.
Time is to the present. The present perfect is to the present, not the past perfect. That means I will be right again. The block. Yes, it.
No,
mean-
when you use the present perfect, it
Yeah.
talks about the past.
Talks about it.
So all that sentence says is at some unspecific, not specific point in the past, you have written a book.
Yeah.
Okay. For example, the difference between I have written some books and I wrote some books. I have written some books is not a specific time. I wrote some books. You can say I wrote a few books yesterday afternoon. Okay? When you use the simple past, it is at a specific time. Okay?
Yes.
Always.
Yeah. It's always referring to a specific time. Okay? Okay? For the second sentence though, you would say I hadn't written a book until yesterday. You cannot say I had written some books until yesterday. It doesn't make sense in English. You would have to make it negative. Because up until the point of yesterday, you did not write books. Right? So you started writing books yesterday.
I had written the books until yesterday. That means after yesterday, I hadn't write any books. Just mean the writing the books. The time is before the yesterday. Oh, not.
Okay. Well, when you say I had written books until yesterday, that sentence does not make sense in English.
Oh.
Okay? That sentence does not make sense. You have to say I had not written a book until yesterday. Okay? It means before yesterday, you did not write books. You started writing books yesterday.
Oh.
Does that make sense?
Just no. How about I'll change another thing?
Okay.
But what if you like to express something like that? I was in the process of writing. I had been writing the book up to that moment in the past of the past. What could be used? What grammatical form?
Okay, so you were in the process of writing a book, and then
some specific moment of the past, and the process of the action also in the past.
Oh, okay.
So we could use the past perfect continuous, no?
Yeah. Give me your sentences again. Sorry, because I want to make sure.
I had been writing the book until my brothers came to the room, for example.
I had been writing
my book.
When my brothers
came to my room.
Came into my room.
Yeah.
Good. I had been writing my book when my brothers came into my room. Exactly. If it's yes. So with the past continuous, like that, the past perfect continuous, it's when something was happening, was continuing in the past. Exactly. Okay. Good job, guys. Okay. All right. We will have time to give examples, but we are going to continue with reading because it might clear up some confusion. Okay? Okay, so let me see. Ahmed, you can continue with C.
C.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
The past perfect is often used to give reasons or background information for later past events.
Okay.
Reason: she was late. She had forgotten to set her alarm clock. Background information: later past event. He had never taken a subway before he moved to New York.
Okay. All right. Does this make sense to everyone?
There is a great space between information and later. Is it?
Wait, what? Does someone have a question? Oh. Does everyone understand this?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. All right, thanks, guys. All right, Anton. Read the next part. In writing.
Okay. In writing, these verbs are commonly used in the past perfect. Come, have, live, make, and take. Has been is the most common past perfect form in speaking and writing.
Okay. Yeah, so when we see had been is also the most common past perfect form in speaking and writing. Okay? So we are going to give you are going to give me example sentences with come or have or leave or make or take or been. Okay? Okay, so yeah, oh, bye, Araceli. Do you want to give an example before you go, or you have to go right now? Oh, I guess right now. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay, I hear a noise coming from one of y'all. Hold on, I don't know who. I'm going to mute everyone. Oh, okay. Okay, that's better. All right. Okay, Anton, give me an example sentence with one of those words using the past perfect. Remember, the past perfect is to talk about two events in the past.
My father had been come to my home.
Okay, had come to my home or to my house, maybe.
Yes.
My father had come to my house. What's the second part?
I have to say about in what time, no?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
So,
Yesterday.
for example, good. Okay. My father had come to my house. Okay, but you could also say my father came to my house yesterday. That sounds better in English. So, for example, you could say my father had come to my house when I turned, I don't know, 16, or I don't know, that doesn't make sense. When I turned 20, for example. Okay? So you got a house, and then your father had come to my house when I turned 20. So that's kind of, when we use when or before or after or until or by, that's when we use the past perfect. Does that make sense? Okay. All right. Very good, Anton. Okay. Giuseppe?
Yes. I try.
Okay.
I ate the apple, an apple.
Mm-hmm.
When one moment. An app. He had. I don't know. I ate the apple when my father is in your home, in your house.
Okay, so
I don't think.
I had eaten the apple when my father arrived at my house.
Yes.
Yes? Because
yes.
you ate the apple when your father arrived. Yes?
When my father arrived at my house, I ate an apple.
Oh, an apple. Okay.
An apple.
I had eaten an apple when my father arrived at my house.
At my house.
Yep.
Okay. It's correct.
Yep. You can say that.
Okay. Okay.
Good job. All right. Let me see. Joe? Yes. I had learned English when I traveled to the U.S. Yeah. Good. Great job. I had learned English.
Why? It should be used. I had eaten the apple before my father arrived at my house. Is it clear? Used before.
So,
when?
So if it happened at the same moment, you can use when. If it happened before, you can say I had eaten the apple before my father arrived. But when you go ahead.
If I use when, that means at the same moment. Is it at the same moment? But if I use the past perfect, that should not be at the same moment. It should be one event is before another. Is it?
Not always.
Yeah.
Not always, because look at this example. Read that for the class in the group chat.
Oh, the time work after before binding time until and when can it show reduce the time the crossed after they had met. They noticed there are many similarities. When I got home yesterday, my father has already cooked dinner. Yeah.
So we can use when, but you're right. So, for example, with Giuseppe's sentence,
that is yesterday.
Yes. So with Giuseppe's, wait, I think it was Giuseppe. Giuseppe, was this your sentence? Yes? Okay, so you would say I had eaten an apple before my father arrived at my house. Okay?
Sorry, teacher. I can use I ate.
Yes.
It's
with
possible.
Before.
It's good.
With before and after, you can also use the simple past. Okay? Okay. Because it is clear. Does that make sense? So yes, with before and after, you can use the simple past or the past perfect. The lunch was so good. He had made great dishes. She smiled before. Okay, whoa. Okay, Nori. The lunch was so good. Okay, the lunch was so good. He had made great dishes. She smiled before. Okay, yeah. She smiled before. No, you would say she smiled before I took the picture, or you can say she had smiled before I took the picture. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah, both of those are correct. Omar, I didn't know what it was. I had never... Yeah, I didn't know what it was. I had never seen it before. Yep, good. Good, Omar. That's a perfect sentence. Okay, who has not given me a sentence? Saming, give me a sentence.
Okay. Okay. The house was dirty. They hadn't cleaned it for 4 weeks.
Okay. The house was dirty. They hadn't cleaned it for weeks. Perfect.
Because I read the grammar books in my front.
Saming, no cheating.
Yes.
Okay, Joe, I ate an apple before my father arrived at the house. Yes, Joe. Remember, with before and after, you can use the simple past.
Teacher, but I have a question.
Yes.
Because it was, how can I say that? It's a past of the past. My father arrived. So I ate that apple. I ate the apple before that. So I think I could not understand it when I use it to the same sentence in the two phrases. I think I need to use I had eaten because it's before the action of my father arrived at home, you know?
Yeah, both are correct. So if you are more comfortable with saying I had eaten an apple, it's correct in English. And usually, when we have two events in the past, usually native speakers will use the past perfect. Okay?
Understood.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Does anyone have more examples with past perfect?
But if we use the simple past, we need to have mention a time. Is it?
What do you mean by mention a time? What do you mean?
Maybe yesterday, last week. Yeah. In the simple past.
Let me see if I can get an example without one, because I don't think you don't need a specific time. I don't think. Hold on. Let me see.
I eat an apple yesterday.
Here. Well, actually, hold on. Actually, let me see if I can pull up a different example.
So,
maybe you do need it. I don't know. Well, here's an example where you do not need the specific time. Here, Saming.
Yeah. Arrived when it's at party. All my friends had already gone home. That's right. That's the past perfect. I say just a simple past.
Yeah.
Only the simple past tense. But your phrase is right because that is past perfect.
the past perfect is had gone.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I agree. Yeah. My meaning
Yeah.
just when I use a simple past tense, I need to mention the past time.
No.
No,
when you use the simple past, you don't always need the specific time. For example, you could say like this sentence: I arrived late at the party. That does not have a specific time. Okay, sometimes it is implied. You don't always need the specific day. Okay, so for example, if someone says, "What did you do yesterday?" What did you do yesterday? You can say, yesterday I went to the beach, right? Or you can say, I went to the beach.
Because
okay? You don't need to repeat yesterday because it's understood. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're talking about the past. Yeah.
Okay. Exactly.
But when I write in a paper or in a letter, I need to when I'm writing, I need to mention the time. When I'm writing a letter or anything.
Usually, it depends. Something but yeah, usually it sounds good to give the specific time.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Okay. That should depend on how we understand we are talking about.
Yeah. It depends on if the person understands when you're talking about. So, for example, if they know you went on vacation specifically last month, then maybe you don't need to repeat, I went on vacation last month, right? Okay.
And,
you could just say the vacation was fun, right?
Okay. And I want to ask another question about the past perfect.
Okay, wait.
Okay.
Hold on, Saming. Let me check Ahmed. I had called my friend before I went to work. Yep, perfect, Ahmed. Perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, go ahead, Saming.
I arrived very late. That means the action is completely finished.
Yes.
And I use the past perfect.
Yeah, because you can only arrive once, right?
Yeah.
You arrive and then it's done. Yep.
Okay.
Okay, I wasn't hungry. I had just eaten. Good. Perfect, Omar. And all. Just means very, very recently. Already means you had done it. It means it had already happened. It happened. Okay, so just means like very recently. Very recently. Oops. Recently. Okay. And already means like it had happened. It means that sometime in the past you had already done it.
So, teacher, in the past perfect. This is past perfect.
Wait, say it again.
Had eaten is past perfect.
Yes.
Past perfect?
Had eaten. Yes. Is past perfect.
Okay. So when I use this sentence, it's better to use already because it's happened. It's not so recently.
What sentence? Oh, okay.
If I say something that I have done before, it's in the past perfect. It's better to use already than just because I think it's happened in the place to say recently.
So okay. So if you use already, okay, I had already eaten before my father arrived. Okay. And if you said if you just said I had eaten before my father arrived. Okay? The difference is,
Teacher,
for
I'm
example,
asking.
when you
Okay.
use, oh, go ahead.
I think no. I'm just I'm question my doubts about that. It's just use in the first sentence that you put here. Choose already or just in the sentence. I had already eaten before my father arrived, or I had just eaten before my father arrived.
You can use both.
Both? Okay.
Yeah, I had just eaten. It means you very recently ate before your father arrived. But I had already eaten just means that, for example, if your father expected you to wait for him, you would say, I had already eaten.
Okay.
Okay? But, for example, maybe he was not expecting you to wait for him, so you could just say, I had eaten. It's something you did. Okay? Does that make sense?
Yes, it makes sense.
Okay.
Thank you.
And Omar, go ahead and explain. Elaborate what you said.
Like you say, with already or just, I think it depends on the case and the situation that you are. If you have already finished of eating, you can say that. But if you are just very recently, you can say yes, or even you can say yes. I already eat.
Yeah. I already ate.
Teacher, but my doubts about that, it's just because when I use past perfect, it's not something recently. I cannot see something like that. When I use past perfect, it's something not recently. So that's why I think it's more. I don't know. I think it's better to use already.
Yeah, it's better to use already. You could say I had just eaten before my father arrived, but for example, the past perfect is not recent to the present maybe, but the time that you ate and the time that your father arrived can be recent to each other.
Okay, I got.
Okay, does that make sense? Okay.
Completely.
Yeah.
I understand now.
Okay, good. All right. But yeah, it's more common to say I had already eaten or I had eaten. Okay, but yes. Okay.
You think we have time to talk about the past perfect continuous tense now? Maybe we could make another class for this. Yeah.
I will continue with the other class because yeah, we don't really have time today. I have it on the lesson, but it is at the very end. Okay. So yes, I will make another class for specifically the past perfect continuous. But usually, as a general rule, if you can use the past perfect, then you can use the past perfect continuous. But the difference is the past perfect continuous is when something has happened over a long period of time. Okay? Yeah. And there are some exceptions to this rule. Okay? Some verbs you can use and it has very little difference. So, for example, I had lived in Milan, or I don't know, or okay, I had lived in China, okay? Or you can say I had been living in China, okay? And you have to finish the ends of the sentence. But, for example, there are some verbs like live that mean the same thing, okay? I had lived in China for many years before I moved to America. I had been living in. Oh, go ahead.
Teacher, in this sentence, can I put something like this period, like I had been living in China for 2 years. Can I?
I had been living in China for 2 years. Yes.
It's correct. Okay.
Yeah, you can say that. I had been living in China for 2 years. And then you would usually end with before I moved, or something. It's either understood in the context, but usually there's like a change or something happened, or maybe.
So I think it's better to use I lived in China for 2 years without this past perfect.
I lived in China for 2 years. You can say that too. It depends. So, for example, if you are telling a story, and you're talking about your time in China, so you're telling a story to a friend right now, okay? But the story is in the past, okay? You can say, I had been living in China for 2 years, okay? And that's it. You don't need anything else, okay? Because it's understood that it's talking about the story in the past. Does that make sense?
Yes, completely, teacher. Thank you.
Okay, yeah. So it always depends in English, okay? But yes, like I had been waiting for 10 minutes before the bus came. I had been, yeah, yep, perfect, Sunming.
I used before, but I don't use when. Yeah, when is not correct.
Right. Yeah. So I had been waiting for 10 minutes before the bus came.
Not use when, okay?
I had been waiting for 10 minutes when the bus came. I had been waiting for 10 minutes. I would say I had already been waiting for 10 minutes when the bus arrived is probably the better word, not came. But yeah.
Right.
So you could say I had already been waiting for 10 minutes when the bus arrived. Okay? Because the already signifies that it has happened. Okay? Okay.
If I don't use already, I should be used before.
Yeah, it makes more sense. Okay? It's better if you use before. Without already.
Yeah, okay.
Okay? Does this make sense to everyone? I know the past perfect is kind of confusing.
Yes, teacher. Can I ask you something?
Yes.
In the everyday life, you used to speak like this, or try to get more simple sentences?
Wait, for me personally?
In general.
That's a hard question because I don't pay attention to the verb tenses because it's my native language. So I don't know if I usually use the past perfect or if I usually use the simple past. I don't know. I don't notice when I tell stories. Okay. But I will try to pay attention like today and let you know because I'm curious. But yeah, maybe if I'm telling a story about the past, I will use the past perfect. Usually I use the past perfect if something had never happened until a specific point. So usually I use it with the negative. Okay? That's usually when I use it. So
it's more common.
For me. For me. Yeah. So for example, I hadn't learned to swim until I turned 5, for example. Okay? So it means up until that point I did not know how to swim. Okay? So yeah, that's more commonly when I would use it. Or I had never tried. I think they're called churros until I moved to Costa Rica.
Okay.
Yeah. So when it's the negative, that's probably when I usually use it. But that's me personally.
So we can.
Go ahead.
Before is.
Nori?
Also use negative before.
Before or until? I
had swim before I turned 5. Can I?
Yeah, but you cannot use I had not swum until okay. I hadn't swum until I turned 5. I hadn't swum. You can't use. I hadn't swum before I turned 5. Hold on. That's a good question. I hadn't swum before I turned 5. I hadn't swum until I turned 5. I hadn't. I would use until, I think.
Is until is better?
Yeah. I hadn't swum until I turned 5.
Okay.
That's what I would use, I think.
Yeah, I also think
before I turned 5. Yeah. I would use until. I would use until because, yeah, now it's happened, I think.
Yeah.
But that's
not a problem. Yeah.
Okay.
I have seen a movie. They tell me that in America or they don't use any past perfect only. All they use the past tense is okay. In America. Yeah.
Maybe that's why this subject is so confusing. Maybe because there are lots of different opinions on what is grammatically correct and what is not. Yeah. Because apparently in America, everyone can just use the simple past. Yeah, thank you, Omar. Yeah, that makes more sense. So yeah, I would say I hadn't learned to swim until I turned 5. I wouldn't say I hadn't learned to swim before I turned 5. It's okay, but it's not. I would use until. So Omar's description makes sense. Okay. Okay, class?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, guys. Well, we are over on our time. If you have more questions, you can message me on my Google Plus account.
Okay.
Okay, guys. All right. See you later. Bye, guys.
Bye, teacher. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.